Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, we are playing Mono Blue Draw 2. And Mono Blue is a meta call of a deck if ever there was one. The more aggro the meta, the worse blue decks are because they're cheap little creatures just get picked off by play with fires and stuff like that, instant speed, and you don't feel like you really got to run a game plan. But when the meta slows down, when the Vanishing Verses and the Meat Hook Massacres are all that you see, the various mid-range and control piles try to take over, Mono Blue starts to become a contender because Mono Blue can do things that other decks can't, and this is a slightly different version. I think you guys have seen like Delver of Secrets Mono Blue a good amount. We're still running a similar kind of fish strategy, which is an old Magic lingo term that means you try to play a cheap creature and then protect cheap creatures, kind of like the Illuminator Virtuoso decks you've seen, but without the white. But these ones can usually counter a few spells and really keep their creatures untouchable. This version has abandoned the counter spells and is instead focusing on abusing a little draw 2 mechanic that has started to lurk in Magic. So, Fairy Vandal. Whenever you cast your second card each turn, whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Fairy Vandal. I was confused because of this card, Ledger Shredder. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, Ledger Shredder connives. Put them together, and you might be able to grow your Fairy Vandal at a very brisk pace. Now, you need some other ways to trigger that card draw, preferably without spending a lot of mana to do it. I have Sus Stowaway. Sus Stowaway and Fairy Vandal and Ledger Shredder create a weird conundrum of things that can happen. On one hand, you want players casting 2 spells because you want to get the Ledger Shredder connives. On the other hand, you don't want to cast 2 spells when it would flip the Sus Stowaway. So, at first it looks like a Nombo, but then you play with them and you learn something. Sus Stowaway makes the opponent want to cast their 2 spells really bad because they do not like the Seafaring Werewolf. So that means they're triggering their Ledger Shredder more often, which, sometimes you flash in Fairy Vandal right before the Ledger Shredder trigger, and it's like, oh my god, what is happening? It's actually a really weird little suite of creatures, with the finisher being the Ascendant Spirit, the only 1-drop in the deck, and we have 21 Snow Islands to kind of pump it up. It's pretty good. I find that what I love most about the deck is that these creatures give you a weird sequencing challenge where you want to Ledger Shred when you have a Vandal, but you don't want to cast 2 spells on your turn when you have a Sus Stowaway. You want to make the opponent do that. All of that's pretty doable because we have a ton of instants and not that many sorcery speed cards. We have 4 copies of Consider, 4 copies of Fading Hope, 4 copies of Slip Out of the Back, 4 copies You See a Guard Approach, and 4 copies of March of Swirling Mist. This group is your protection suite. There are 12 of them. You should be able to draw them pretty often, and in an absolute pinch, Fading Hope can save one of your own creatures, although you'd definitely prefer to use it as a tempo play to keep from dying, because you don't actually have counterspells in this deck. Instead, we rely on the Fading Hopes and the March of Swirling Mist on the opponent's creatures to buy us enough time to get the damage through. It's definitely a 5-head deck. It's a very hard deck to play. You have to make a lot of judgment calls around when to activate your Ascendant Spirit, when to double spell for your Ledger Shredder, when to cast your Fairy Vandal, when to cast your Sus Stowaway, when to flip it to a Seafaring Werewolf. The deck does a lot to accommodate this with a ton of cheap instants, but you have to make the decisions, and sometimes it's really unclear what you need to do, especially with Consider. Consider is a pretty tough card to play in the deck because there are so many different things it can do, from triggering the Connive and making the Fairy Vandal bigger if you play it on your turn, or triggering Connive on their turn. It's just a tough card to play in this particular build, so watch out for that. Security Bypass. They've got a lot of unblockability, but sometimes they play a flyer and we need to get past it. I don't know if the bypass belongs here. Maybe this would be better as a counter spell of some kind. I wouldn't doubt that to be true. Make Disappear is probably the first place I would turn to, but I'm going to leave that up to you because I'm going to run it in this build, and we'll talk a little bit about the results in the post-game wrap. So, let's dive in. Let the conniving nonsense begin. P.S. This is almost a budget deck, but some people say it's not a budget deck because it does have 16 rares, or 17 if you count this land that you don't actually need, but a lot of people don't, it's got more cheap cards than normal, so it's a budget. It's just my budget. your budget. Something, not some people's budget. Whatever, let's dive in.
Covert Go Blue will be appearing at Too Many Games Friday, June 24th to Sunday, June 26th. Prepare for a weekend full of Magic the Gathering action, including a panel with CGB and other special guests. Bring your deck for the chance to play against him one-on-one for some awesome prizes. And while you're there, be sure to check out our huge marketplace, massive free play arcade, cosplay wrestling event, tabletop tournaments, concerts, and much more. Click the link below or visit TooManyGames.com to get your ticket today.
All right, on the play with a spirit and a lot of protection for it. Let's go to work. Oh boy. All right, hard mode engaged. So if they had play with fire, they would have cast it. Let's go like this. What am I gonna have to do with this spirit to take over this game in like a nearly impossible matchup? Oh wow, they run that. Okay, so it's like mono red artifacts. Okay. Am I the controller of the beatdown with 2 marches, but against a ward creature? You can't take too much damage from this thing. Okay, it's all just a rain of Kimono and Kakazani stuff. All right, let's hope that they don't know how their card works. They don't know how their card works. Or how my card works, I should say. Hi. Hi there, that's a 4/4. Are we done? You wanna leave? Maybe? I'm gonna need this to be a 6/6, not really. Let's try getting the stowaway down. Maybe some card advantage as we try to stabilize. I think the opponent throwing away that automaton is... Oh, that's gonna wreck him. Okay, we got that thing. That's pretty good. Because as the counter, it won't return to hand. Do I take 5? Or do I just phase the thing? Whoa, bro. Okay. I don't think they have a shock. I don't think they do. But just in case they do, we're just going to take this. Alright, definitely no spells this turn. Covert, no spells. Shouldn't have played the land first, though. And never punished. They don't seem to have any shocks. And by that, of course, I mean, like, play with fire. I'm gonna read my card now? It's a little late. Oh my. What if you had none of those? All right, 6, then another 6. Doesn't quite get the job done. Cool. Ledger Shredder and Seafaring Werewolf, not always a combo, but since people try to double spell to flip it anyway, it works out better than it should. Yep. Okay, no second spell here, just a 7/6 Shatter Skull Charger. Happy. Just the Riju? Putting a counter on itself. Tough game, tough game. We'll go to 6. We got March for next turn. This turn we hit for 7, and the next turn we can finish them. Do I have to let them get into combat? Yeah, because of the helm. Otherwise they attack with the helm. So I can let them put their Riju trigger on the stack, but then they won't control any creatures that are modified, so I shouldn't take any damage. Hiya! What if your creatures were not attacking? Have you considered that? Land to the moon. Attack for 9. Exaxes. Ah, mono red. Throw away your patchwork automaton so recklessly. Wow. Ledger Shredder City. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Thank you. Let's play. Just play. Just frickin' play. I'm a nice person in person. In the arena. Online. Just destroy you. You're the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I just want to bash you, destroy you completely. That's all. Don't want to talk. Don't want to know your name. Don't care. This is the arena we're talking about. These aren't humans on the other side. They're adversaries. So Innkeeper into Iteration. What the hell are you doing? I hate it already. Okay. Again. All right. Am I ever going to actually see these shredders get activated? That's the new question. What's it gonna take? Voltage surge in responses. The security bypass for sure, right? We have to keep triple shredder. Probably should have just let it die, to be honest. We only had 3 of them. Yeah, you get there, Innkeeper. Are we gonna miss a land, or are we gonna play a land in the slowest way possible? Sir tanks a lot. Got it. All right. Well, if they have a burn down the house, this game's over. Oh my god. Definitely don't need another land, though. And I guess I'm gonna get rid of bypass. Caca. Another iteration. Oh my god. The Dirtle. Why isn't this card banned in Standard? Because they don't care about Standard. They want to encourage people to play other formats. They want Standard to be boring after, a week. I mean, that's good. That's a lot of triggers for me. Okay, then. Should I keep the cheap card draw? Nah. Fading Hope. I have no idea if I'm supposed to keep a Fading Hope. I think it's better than a Vandal, though. Dude. Sure. Save. Dude. What a weird game. Battle of the endless 1 mana and 2 mana spells on both sides. Again! Hey, if they sweep the board, I can at least save 1. Double spell, opponent, I dare you. Or do nothing, that's also fine. Caw! You got 1 more turn, make it count. Maybe 2, but probably 1. Angel Fire Ignition, but what if you didn't have that Innkeeper though, huh? Angel Fire Ignition, sure. 4 color, instant speed removal, Angel Fire Ignition deck. Sure. Go ahead, play. If you play it, I connive. If you play it, I connive. Oh. Also, Prosperous Innkeeper, for real? Like, what's it doing? You haven't played any other creature. What was this game? What a silly game. Alright, Sus Stowaway. On the draw is very slow, but you can't just not play games on the draw. Gotta see what happens. Hopefully we find another creature to play here. I guess I won't turn down a protection spell, but it probably means we're not. Oh, that's perfect. Now we can drop this on end step and this on their turn. Here comes the removal. And now we can protect the wolf. Forever and ever, hopefully. It's a big deal. Rafine. Whatever. I think I'd take a moment here to consider. Yep, that's good. And good. Unblockable. Taste it. Discard. One of the shredders can go. And now we have a wolf we can protect that's going to draw a card every turn. Every turn. So cool. The Fading Hope will put them in a bind too. Whiff. Greasefang? Greasefang? Greasefang. Okay. So I think the right play here is to bounce the Rafine. Because then they don't get the connive. Untap, 2/2. Swing. Hit. Draw, discard. Nice. Leggy Shreddy. End turn. Flipping it I don't think really makes sense because they can probably flip it back very easily. Alright, let's see what they do here. Greasefang, what are your vehicles? You don't have any vehicles. Cool. Cool so far. Freaking ward. Another Sus Stowaway. Get in there. It's gonna be a tough game. Let's drop off this Sus Stowaway and flip tonight. Search for glory. You got it. Knock yourself out. Seek his chariot. Yes, sure. So now they're hoping to connive. I guess we can see what they connive onto. They might try to connive on the Grease Fang and we can fizzle it. That's interesting. Yeah, they're attacking with both. I don't think I'm ever going to keep them from conniving, though. Still, it's a heck of a trigger to get rid of. So we play Vandal. Play this. Ultimate 0. We'll go there and here for protection. Ledger Shred. Discard, trigger. Not quite enough. Too bad I didn't draw one more card that turn somehow so I could grow the Vandal. Land for opponent. Uncastable Chariot as one of their cards in hand. We've got it stranded a little bit. Hit him for 6. Grow the Vandal. More marches. Love to see it. Can they get that Chariot in the bin right now, you know? What if you had no creatures? What if I had no creatures? That's not good. Okay, so I get to connive off this. So I go 1, I target here. And it has to be a non-land, and it is. That card had to be a meat hook, and they got it. Unbelievable. We still got them down to 4. We got some sweet little critters here. So the question is now, do they have another meat hook? They still haven't been able to get the Chariot in the graveyard, so reanimating it this turn is unlikely. They got a Bank Buster. I think they're better off just I don't know, maybe they don't think they can attack here. See where they connive to? Onto a Fiend. Draw 2, discard 2. 4 life. 2 Chariots. Big surprise. You wonder why I don't try such a vehicle deck. Another hook. But I don't think it'll save them, right? They hook for 1, they kill this, they go to 5, but then we attack them back for 5. Good. On the play, another 4-lander. Okay. Oh, we have creature into creature, and then we turn on protection, so we gotta try it. Another red deck. Very scary. But let's get out our dorks. Try to pressure them a little. We're gonna need to draw some marches. We got a Reader. You know that they want to play a creature this turn, not a removal spell, because of Kumano faces Kakazan. But maybe they're scared. They also have Play with Fire. That would be bad. Nope. Just a really good opener with a lot of aggression. Okay, sweet. Now, do we flip? Or do we get down Ledgy Shreddy? We can have this become a 2-3, which can take on the 2-2, which is nice, and it can have protection. So I think we just attack with Stowaway Go. Nighttime also makes the Brutal Cathar is a little less brutal. I guess depending how you look at it. Mass Pirate. Of course. You can put a counter on the etching. How good is their hand? Really good. Okay. We'll outgrow that. They'll put a counter on something. Yeah. We could phase it out and put a counter on it, but I don't think that's the way. They're gonna do this. Lock over here and then phase. So it comes back with a counter. Sus flips. We might want to just flip it back. Again, Brutal Cathar is a problem. Let's see what happens after we attack. Okay, well that's kind of cool. No protection spell's scary, so let's flip for the other side of Brutal Cathar, but we're facing so many creatures, I don't know what we're gonna do here. I don't have a great plan. Just trying to draw out of it, to be honest. Yep, nice one. You did it. Now I gotta watch out for double spells. Opponent with choices. Choices are hard. Alright, so if you attack with that, you make that a 4/5. We eat one of them, you probably get in with everything else too. If we bounce this, then they have to throw a creature away? Maybe they don't want to do that. I guess it's the way. It does make it pretty easy to double spell next turn, which is really bad for that brute. But maybe they won't think of that. I don't think they thought about how this comes down and doesn't remove anything. Alright, we need March of Swirling Mist. Not many other cards matter. I can't believe how much I flood with this deck. It's blowing my mind here. But yeah, if they're going to double spell, let's play this Ledger Shredder that benefits from it. Maybe we can still draw March of Swirling Mist just in time for this brute to flip. Took them about 20 minutes last time to figure out this +1/+1 counter. Okay, they got it. Let's see if they attack into the spirit though. Wow. Yeah, obsessed with attacking. Okay, let's see if we can kill this brute, shall we? It might not work. If it doesn't work, the game's over, but the game's kind of over anyway. Okay, interesting. And land? Wow, and we draw March. We're in it. We've got this, I think. Oh my god, they didn't have it. Like I was just gonna lose to a play with fire. But you gotta take the risks. Slow roll them. Slow roll them. One, two, three, 4, 5. Yep. But what if you had none? What a perfect draw. And we dodged the opponent's good draws. Oh my goodness, but we'll take it. That's a tough matchup. It's a very tough matchup. 69 and 1. We go first. We have a Vandal and some draw. We'll keep it. Maybe we'll finally see the Vandal get to do its thing. Oh my gosh. We've played so many of these turn 1 Kumano Faces Kakazans. So many! Yay! Alright, do they have a play with fire to kill this? Oh, nope, they got another Kumano Faces Kakazan. Okay, this is the exact same as the last 2 times I played Boros. Exact same draws. Let's see if we can dig up a land. Now we're in that spot where we actually want a land, and we got one. Cool. Feels good. Alright, so what about for drawing 2 cards on their turn? That's not going to work here, right? So do we drop the bypass and get the conniving going? We're going to take a pretty big hit next turn. I guess having a 2-3 is nice. I just think the opponent's very likely to kill it. Oh well. I guess we have to be defensive. We can't race them. We just don't have that capability in this deck. I'll probably go for a Brutal Cathar. At least we could bounce it. Nothing. Okay. Interesting. Land. Man, these bypasses aren't looking great. I'm gonna go for the Consider. Because draws for sure. Okay, that's okay. Now I feel like I can go for a bypass. I'll put it on this one. It's too big for a play with fire to kill it. I'm a little worried about a Valorous stance. I can't figure out what else the opponent has going on. Uh-huh. So, do we march it? No reason to, I think, phase their stuff. It's the only Valor stance in their deck. Okay. It's the only Valorous stance in the deck. Now that we're off to the races, but we need to find another March. And between that and this Fading Hope, maybe we have a shot? Oh my god. Maybe not. A stupid draw. Alright, 10-6 life. It's gotta be another March. It's not another March. That's too bad. That is too bad. Because we were gonna get there, but we're not gonna get there this game. We'll keep. Alright, lots of creatures, 1 protection spell. So we'll run creatures at them for as long as we can. Let's get the Shreddy down. A lot of contradictions in this deck, but when they work, they work. It sometimes comes together, and it will surprise you when it does. You want to block? Because if you do, I'll pump. Okay. We just say go? Do stuff on their turn? I think so. Somewhere in here, we probably are going to get forced to use a slip out the back, right? Yeah. Didn't see that coming. Oh, it's like, huh? I just wanted 1 damage. Yeah. Oh, we get the Abrade on it? Okay, that's fine. Now we get the trigger. So much to do with that Abrade, but this is what happens. And it grows the Fairy Vandal. What's the play here? We'll go over there. Start growing the Vandal. Enough creatures. Let's keep this cheap one though, because we could double spell someday with it. They're down to 12. Innkeeper or Braid Naya. What are you playing? Death. You're playing dead. All right, we're on the play, and I love how much we're on the play. Let's get the spirit down and try to protect it and get it to carry us to victory. I'm just going in. Reckless abandon. Against a plains? I got nothing. Yeah, they foretell a Doomscar. That's something. All right. They foretell a Doomscar. Let's just attack and say go. Maybe they'll be afraid to play it. Maybe they'll have a tap land. Level. This should be a matchup we like. But so far we haven't drawn a phasing effect, which is a big deal. You're at 12. Revitalize, sure. Yeah, see, they're afraid. All right, do we go for it? It could flash in an Emperor if we go for it here, so I don't think we do. Let's try for a Consider. Or let's just say go, because, no, if they play an Emperor here, we still have UC a Guard approach. It's fine. Okay, we'll take another creature, especially one that is unblockable and causes them a lot of problems. Didn't really want another Ascendant Spirit, though. There's the Emperor.
I hope you're ready.
All right, let's go with Hexproof right there. Let's level up. Draw a card. Now the opponent's probably going to Doomscar it away. Maybe they even have another removal spell they'd rather use. Then we're playing Sus Stowaway and another Spirit. Make them have another Doomscar. If they have another Doomscar, they'd probably foretell it here.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Okay. Don't think we hold the Otawara there. Having mana, having lands is going to matter a lot. Okay, Mending's going to help them out with the Stowaway by just having spells to cast if they need them. Opponent has to choose what to do with the Emperor, and they're going to go up, kind of forcing me to attack it.
I have got new moves to teach you.
The guess is good for us, because I will attack it, and they're passing without playing a spell so far. Oh, now they're going to. Discard another Mending. There's a March. That's pretty good. Gotta get rid of the Emperor or else it can minus. Minus can be bad. Try to flip.
Much to learn.
Now the opponent needs to double spell to deflip the Seafaring Werewolf, which is a bit of a problem card for them. We'll go to a 4/4. March. We'll try to hexproof it. Test of talents, huh? Sure. Maybe I should have tried the Fading Hope first. They get to flip the Werewolf now, too. Although I might just discard that Fading Hope if they're going to exile this one Ascendant Spirit. Okay. Of course, we could also still march it. And they still have mana open, though. Yeah, I'll try Fading Hope instead. Good scry, good scry. Get him. All things considered, I'm glad this isn't getting... that Test of Talents isn't hitting the march. Main phase Deluge. Oh boy. Okay, level. No Wandering Emperor mana? Let's try it again. Let's be a little bold here. Yep. How many marches do they have? They've already drawn 2. Okay. Wow. Say go. Cool. We run out of cool stuff to do. Yeah. Now they're in trouble. I could pump again and try to get the card draw, but I think we just protect the rest of the way. The extra card or two won't matter too much. We just need another turn. Oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good to apply some last second pressure. Whoa! Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, that's some crap. I think the play is to actually phase out our creatures now. And then phase out their Hullbreaker Horror on their turn. Send it away. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Sure. They go to 7, but we can pump our way through that. I'm gonna let them make these decisions. They don't know about the other march. The march that's on backup duty. Again? Alright, now they don't have their Hullbreaker Horror for this turn cycle, and they have to figure out how to survive without it. We'll go for the Vandal as well. Another march. You know they've got to do something here, so I think I got the pieces though to pull it off. This is the 7-point attack. This is the Revitalize. Can't stop that. Do we pump? Don't think so. All right, we do it again. Into open mana is kind of unfortunate. We could wait until they put something on the stack targeting one of these. We could wait. Is that the way to play it? With them having 2 cards? Do we just cast the Shredder? And make them deal with all those cards? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If they counter it, we still have another march. Test of Talents? What we don't want them to get is another bounce from casting a Test of Talents here, right? Okay, Wandering Emperor. Good God. That's so perfect.
I'm home.
All right. If they go to 5, we would need to draw an extra card somewhere to grow the Vandal to have lethal. But I think that's what has to happen here. We gotta find a way to do it. Oh wait, we can still play you? No, but then we can't march. Okay. So we need a spell off the top to go with the Ledger Shredder to grow the Vandal. And then they have to not have the things. All right. Might as well not let it get the counter. You're gonna dissipate the march? No! Oh my God. What a stupid game. And they bounce the Wandering Emperor. What a frickin' cheater.
Strike fast and
What a
strike
cheater at
hard.
Magic. How do they do it? How do they have it all? I hate them. And we draw land. Okay. Bad game. Bad game. Bad. BG. And we are back for the post-game wrap. Let's check out the stats powered by MTG Assistant. Download link in the description. Track your stuff. Get good. Yeah, we went 5 and 3. 5 and 3. 62% win rate. That is a win rate in Mythic. That means you could probably run this. And as long as your meta wasn't too aggro and you weren't on the draw too many times, you could probably battle your way to Mythic with such a thing. I do find the matchups with the aggro decks very, very difficult. I did not like Security Bypass for the deck. We're pretty close to unblockable a vast amount of the time. So I would replace Security Bypass with a couple of Make Disappears, maybe 2. And then I would try to find one more way to get around a creature with the last spot. Like the last removal card could be a Witness Protection, maybe? It's another 1-mana play that at least drops a flyer out of the sky. So yeah, I would cut Bypass. I would run maybe some Witness Protection. There was I guess you could just run the 4th Vandal if you want to. There was certainly some awkwardness at times with the deck, but that's part of the deck's charm. And it certainly also pulled out some wins I didn't expect. So I do strongly recommend it to you 5-hat gamers who want a challenge in the current meta. And it's a different take on mono blue, using some of that draw 2 stuff, which a lot of people really like. So play it. Enjoy it, have fun. Let me know how you did in the comments. Also, let me know what cards I should have played in the comments. Let me know what actions I should have played in the game in the comments. All of that good stuff. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you at the Too Many Games convention in Philadelphia. That's where I'm going this weekend. And in case you need to hear it, happy Pride Month. Everybody is welcome in this dojo. And all of you out there who are down with that, you're cool.